Queen Snicklefritz here. Snicklefritz into the max, y'all. It's a super blue blood moon. I don't know what that means to you, but it means a tremendous plethora of details to me. Anyway, first, it is a blue moon. Those are real things, y'all. I don't know who named them. I'm going to say the Mesopotamians. The Babylonians, as it turns out, I just found out, are the ones responsible for us having a 7-day week. Learned that today in grad school, yo. What up? Like I said, it fades naturally for me, but I can still see the difference. So if you see in this light? I'm sorry, y'all. It's been such a long day. And I'm blinded with science, but look, today's been a fun day. It's been a super fun day. And if you say it's fun enough times, then you'll believe it eventually. That's what Buddha tells me anyway. Yeah, I'm tired, but it's whatever. So life has made me gray, y'all. It sucked the joy right out of my soul. Life did. That's why Jesus made wine, right? So I got this adorable little cup, by the way, which reminds me of my dearest friend Amy, who I love so much and don't have any time to call. But I bought this wine glass so it can give me pep talks, just the way my friend Amy does. And she says, "Trudy, stop tripping." And I say, "Amy, let me drink you." It looks green once you mix it up and let it develop. It turns red. So today all I did was mix henna with coffee. So I had to move into an apartment, y'all, because I'm super poor because my first husband's suing me because he doesn't want to pay his child support. So I digress. My neighbors hate me a lot because I play bass and I have conversations with myself in the bathroom at 1 a.m. Whatevs. So here's henna. You look at it, can you see it? Henna. By the way, I'm bringing top ponytails back because they're hot. So when you see people in your town wearing the top ponytail, you can say, "Thank you, Queen Snicklefritz," because it's legit. It's like a new trend / retro trend. But so I'm gonna take my top ponytail out. If you're starting off with hair that is brunette or blonde, and you put henna on top of it, let me just tell you this, henna will always be red, period. There's no other color henna can be besides red. It is red and red alone. It's a natural red, y'all, and it doesn't fade. I mean, look at it, okay? People ask me, I get stopped on the street like all the time, and people say, "Is that your natural color?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But I mean, it's really looks natural, you know, and my natural color is pretty much this color, but as you can see, life has sucked the soul out of my hair color. And so you have to, like, just as, I'm gonna make an analogy. In the same way that you recharge your inner soul with wine, you recharge your outer soul with henna. I mixed this earlier today. Time out. Time in. So I have a little cat, and she is not the nicest cat the name I'd ever had. She is always scratching a kid or waking somebody up or tearing up something, but whatever. Cats. Okay, like that works better. Alright, so there's lots of things that you will hear that you can mix henna with. In my opinion, you don't put lemon juice in it. Lemon juice, if it sits on your hair too long, is bad because it's acidic. You wouldn't let, I mean, I put apple cider vinegar on my hair constantly, but not for extended periods of time. You want henna to sit on your hair for like 4 to 6 hours, so you don't want to put anything acidic on it necessarily. I mean, I use it with coffee. Coffee has acidity in it, but you don't want to put just straight up acid. Like I wouldn't, or a milk product. So I have used coconut milk many times before for different applications of conditioning my hair. I have used it with the henna many times. From all the trials and tribulations of the last year of doing henna, I'm going to say keep it simple, stupid. You know, it's like, here's what you want to do is henna powder, 100% natural grade henna, mixed with either coffee with no sugar, tea with no sugar, I like black tea, or just plain old water. You know, sometimes I use coconut water, because I love coconut water. It's so good for your skin, for yourself. It's very hydrating. But mostly what I've been doing that I've really liked that tones down the vibrancy of it, not necessarily, but it does make it look even more natural. Henna's always going to look natural. I mean, you see people, it's hard to get a good red. You see people with bad reds all the time, and there's different degrees of red, but if you use henna, in my opinion, it looks natural all the time. There's no way to make it not look kind of natural because it comes from a natural ingredient, which is a plant, you know. And the key with mixing it is to let it sit. So it's just the powder, equal parts powder to liquid, and then you let it set for 4, 5, 6 hours. Once you let it set that long, it will form a layer on it, which I'm going to show you now, hopefully. Can you see that? So if you do that, you can maybe see it. It might not even been long enough, but whatever. It's been sitting here for like 4 hours. I'm going to go with it. So I'm just going to do it on my roots today. And here's the thing. I have to go on a road trip tomorrow super early. So I'm going to let it set overnight and develop overnight. So I'll tell you about that later. So do just like a split down the center. If you want to be precise about it, you can use one of the little comb things. At this point in life, I don't even care anymore. I really don't. I'm like barely clinging to life itself. I don't even care. So look, just put it on like that. I always start with the part that's going to show the most first, which in this case is always in your center part. I mean, think about it. Even if you part your hair to the right or to the left, your center part is where most of the light's going to catch the color. I do a technique, it's almost like an ombre, where my tips are lighter than my roots. And so if I had the patience, I would have oiled my tips and possibly done some sort of protective coating to deviate from the henna absorbing on my roots. But at this point, I'm just like, don't really care. So this is what's up. It's like my canvas. We're going to see what happens. So I'm just going to put it on the roots, you know. My hair's pretty long, so I just want to steal an expression from my bestest friend Danny and say, what up, muchachos? We're back. So henna night is upon us and we're halfway there. My phone died, but you know, no telling what I'm going to keep or edit. Probably keep because I don't know how to edit. So I got half my roots hennaed. Just do the root part, you know. If you want to do a full head of henna, do 1 box to a full cup of coffee. Like if you have a coffee maker, like a Keurig or whatever, can I say that brand? A coffee maker, make a full 8-ounce cup of coffee to a full box of henna. Or you can, you know, math it and divide or whatever and make half of the half, and then just do your roots, 4 ounces powder to 4 ounces liquid. And then honest to God, I just do half and half liquid and henna. I oil my roots usually, but today I don't have the patience. It's no longer existent. You know, did I ever have it to begin with? Probably not. It's negative patience at this point in my life. So, you want to let it set. If you develop it in hot coffee, which I've never done before, in real hot coffee, I've always done it in like lukewarm coffee. But, you know, I was on a time crunch because my life is shenanigans, and so I just put straight up boiling ass coffee on some henna, and I let it set for an increment of time that I cannot determine. I'm gonna say like 4 hours, 3 hours, couple hours, few. And then I did see the separation, because it will, it'd be like curds and whey, except opposite, because the thin part will be at the top, and the bottom will be the curds, which is probably the way curds, I don't understand curds and whey, but whatever, set it for some minutes and then stick it on your hair. And also drink wine when you're doing it, because it doesn't kill you. All right. And also, we're going to talk while we do our roots, because this is called Henna Diaries. So we have to like talk about our lives. And if you want to tune out, go for it. But I feel like you should probably tune in, because it's some insightfulness. All right. So here's my wine glass. Cheers, darlings, and lots of eyelash. This reminds me of my friend Amy. And every time I trip, I call Amy and she tells me not to trip. Sort of like that. So yeah, and my life has been so shenanigans, I haven't even been able to call any of my friends. And every time I call a friend, like tonight, I talked to my friend Malia for like 4 seconds and my phone died because I sucked the life out of my phone. It hates me and I want to divorce it, but it's not even paying me child support. Why am I not divorcing it? Whatever, I digress. Stick that shit up on your roots. So yeah, like whatever. You can, you know, you can be fancy about it or you cannot. It depends on your personality type. Like if you have a type A personality, you should section it into 1/4-inch root sections. But if you're like me, you should just like smother that shit all over your forehead before you go insane and gray. If you layer henna, it will layer upon itself. So don't expect a fade. So since I'm doing like a multi-dimensional color look, that's what I'm gonna call it, I just put it on the roots that are where my life is sucked out of my soul transparently. So you can literally see my soul being sucked out through my hair, right in this area. I blame the cats. that's who you're hearing right now, because I'm gonna go ahead and blame the cats. They're good scape cats. You know, I'm not gonna blame my